Okay, everyone, and hello, and welcome to a little update on Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Today, we're going to be doing unmarked public spoilers about Title Update 1. So, no data mining or anything else like that, just things that have been publicly announced and going over what's going on there. So, if you're sensitive to those spoilers, don't blame you. If you're in a media blackout, no problem. Click out now and look forward to the next upload. Otherwise, what we're talking about today is a Twitter post from Capcom. The official Monster Hunter post says, for the first title update, we're adding new content regarding anomaly research. In relation to that, here's a sneak peek at Curious Crafting, which allows for armor upgrades. The upgrades utilize new materials that will be added with the update. Please look forward to more news. And so what we see here is the Malzeno bracers using the Curious Crafting system, presumably with new materials. They have given it 8 defense as well as +1 blast attack. Nothing amazing, I don't know if that specifically would change anyone's build. But when we click over to the Japanese Twitter, we get a message from Suzuki, the director. He says, in the first title update, we'll add new content to the conflict survey, presumably the afflicted hunts. This time, they have a scene of strengthening the army using Kai Rensei. From among the additional elements, the enhancements also use new materials added in the update. Stay tuned for more updates. And we can see this time it's different. This time, we've gotten +2 defense, -7 water resistance, +1 dragon resistance, and then it has a point here in chain crit and a point in sleep resistance. So different from what we see the other results, which means in some way the Curious Crafting system can yield different results. Somehow Rainy found a yet third screenshot from a Chinese social media account. On this one, we see -12 defense, 2 additional slots, -4 dragon resistance, and we think that's a 1 point in protective polish. So this means likely one of two things. Either using the Curious Crafting system, you put in a certain amount of afflicted materials or whatever the new material is that they're going to be adding into the update, and you get a completely random result. Random defense, random slots, random resistance, random blast attack, or whatever armor skills you may get. Or it might be a little bit of a, almost like a Safi Jiva sort of piece-by-piece upgrade system where you are kind of able to pick and choose points that go up or maybe points that go down. We can see in the case of the Chinese screenshot, that's -12 defense. Maybe they were able to say, I'll take a low defense roll in addition for more points that I can then spend on level 1 slots. It could be either of those, or it could be none of those. There's no way to know for sure, of course, until the title update comes out. But what we do know is there's almost definitely going to be another tier now of afflicted hunts. So it seemed pretty obvious we weren't going to stop at 4-star. This will likely introduce 5-star, potentially giving us yet another upgrade tier to all of the weapons. I could see that happening. Something that will keep us in line with the Seething Basil and Lucent Narga weapons. Makes a lot of sense to me. And then it would also make sense then for Title Update 2 to give us 6-star afflicted, and then, of course, for the final Title Update, which I believe is going to be next year, to give us the very final upgrade. I'm sorry, actually, Title Update 3 is going to be in the winter. So it's fall, and then for Title Update 2, and then winter is Title Update 3. So by 2023, I would assume we're going to see the Afflicted Hunts be complete. Makes sense. A nice 6-month time window to have plenty to grind in and build up and develop. Going to talk a little bit now about my speculation for the Lucent Narga weapons. I don't really care much to speculate too much about the Seething Basil weapons. I have no idea what sort of niche those are going to fill. We already have Magnum Wallow and Teostra weapons that seem great for blast weapons. So hopefully he's got great armor upgrades or something completely unique happens with his weapons. As for Lucent Narga, You can go in, you can take a look at what his weapons looked like in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. These weapons were very similar to what a Narga upgrade would be if it naturally went down its progression. Reasonable raw, very high max purple sharpness with a lot of white. And on some weapons, you would either have poison or you would have what used to be a awakened or free element poison on the weapons as well. My assumption is going to be that every Lucent Narga weapon is going to have poison on it, likely be a separate branching line off of the Narga Kuga weapons in that regard. Especially with this new Curious Armor system, as well as Lucent Narga's weapon in and of itself, probably have some sort of interaction to encourage you to use Foray, because why wouldn't you? If this has enough poison on it, it might actually make Foray worth it. I'm hoping we're going to see something like a piece with 2 points of Foray off of Lucent Narga that would fit in somewhere convenient. Maybe something like the arms, maybe the head. That would work nicely. Or if you could just Curious Craft it, or if they give us a decoration for it or whatever. I still don't think that we're going to be going back to a raw meta. Poison ends up being just such a small amount of damage. And especially if you're farming afflicted monsters, the poison isn't really helping you break the parts at all. So, it might help you kill the monster slightly faster if they were super weak to poison, like, Tobikadachi. But even still, even if we're talking about Tobikadachi, he has so much life anyways that even though he's weak to poison, it almost doesn't seem worth it using that over water. No way to know for sure, only baseless speculation. But that's all we have. That's all we have for now. So let me know in the comments down below, what are your expectations for Curious Crafting? Do you think it's going to be full on RNG? Do you think it's going to be a little bit of a pick and choose, sort of like do some points up and do some points down? Or do you think it's going to be something completely deterministic where you can kind of upgrade piece by piece, add a slot at the expense of 4 defense, something that would be like little panels of Safi'jiiva? Check me out, twitch.tv/SDShepherd. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It does help support the channel very much. I really appreciate it. And until next time, this is Shepherd saying good luck and have a good hunt.